Hey, I'm excited to be bringing you the review of this new Phrozen Mighty 8K. It is a big, heavy machine. It's got a nice large build plate. I'll flash the specs. Look at that etching on there. Now, as I always say, I have never honestly, in probably using 60 plus different printers now, had any problem with adhesion to any build plate, no matter what the surface on it was yet. So while I like this and it looks cool, it looks like a little bit like an Escher painting. Hopefully it'll help some of you. To me, it doesn't make a difference, but it does look cool as hell, actually. 4-screw leveling system, which I love. Let's see what's in the box. It's going to be the standard stuff, of course. Power supply, warranty, sandpaper. I wouldn't think you would need to sand this. This feels pretty textured, and I'm assuming I'm not even going to need to sand it. So I'm not going to sand it to start, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, the power brick. It's got power supply for US and Europe. Gloves, spatula, and USB. Funnel. And plastic spatula. Oh, wow. Hold on. Something I didn't research this printer. They sent it to me for review, but I was leaving for vacation. I didn't have time to look up the printer and learn anything about it first. I probably should have, but what I see from the back, just looking in, which I didn't even notice before when my wife was unboxing. Oh, by the way, leggings she's wearing are Fiercepulse, which she bought, she loved, and then Fiercepulse contacted us. We worked out a little mini endorsement for her, so that's why I showed her wearing the leggings. Those are from Fiercepulse. If you wear leggings, or if the woman in your life wears leggings, or you are the woman in your own life, their leggings are awesome. She absolutely loves them. That's how the collaboration started with Fiercepulse. So check them out. I have a link in the description. Anyway, back to this. Solid, heavy, standard plastic, but it's nice and thick, at least heavy. But what I didn't see when she was unboxing, and I didn't know came with the printer, check this out. Camera. Built in. Now, honestly, I never expected this. A built-in camera. And you can turn it, you can aim it at the, wow. Okay. This is pretty fancy. And as I'm sitting here, I honestly don't even know the price. So I'm gonna look it up after, and I'm gonna insert it here. But I'm shocked that it has a camera built in. Fancy. I'm gonna have to test that out for you, see how it works. But let's go. I'm more concerned with the machine itself than something. Camera's an extra bell slash whistle that I don't really need anyway. But I know for some of you, you're gonna like that. So let's talk weight. Oh God, that is heavy. It's got to be 20, 25 pounds sitting there. So this is actually metal. I was expecting this casing to be plastic, but it definitely feels like metal. Build plate is solid metal, by the way. I didn't mention that. The arm is nice and sturdy. Two nice thick rails. And it's not moving. This is obviously thick as hell, one solid piece of metal, so that's not going to flex or bend. So let's check out the screws all the way in. Let's see how they did on the, well, they did the right thing. It has legs, feet, whatever you want to call it, and handles, and a max fill line. So more people are making what I keep harping on, the 3 easy things for a vat that you need to do, and now people are doing it. Legs, fill line, handles. So that's great. You can just set it down on the table because of the legs. I love that. Not much more to say about that. The surface is taped. Comes with a film that you're supposed to remove. Okay. Which I'll actually leave on for now until I go to actually test it. And then, of course, the legs sit in holes, so it goes right into place. This attachment, this whole thing is not going to move. This is nice and, that is nice and solid. I like it. Build plate slope. It's sloped. I wouldn't mind seeing a slightly steeper angle on the slope, but it's not bad. As always, the one area you're going to have to clean a little extra with build plates like these is where the 4 screws go in. That area is flat, so resin will pool in those 4 areas. You'll have to clean that. Power supply hits the back. The power switch is in the back. Touchscreen. This touchscreen looks like pretty decent size. Maybe a little bigger than I'm used to seeing, although it's not huge. I just have powers on all switch on the back, and then their little 8K thing looked like it might be a switch, so I tried to push it like a dummy, even though it's not a switch because the switch is in the back. Okay, caught me being brain dead. But the camera, I know for a lot of you, like I said, for me, I just think it's cool, but I don't really care about having the camera. But I know for a bunch of people that camera might be a little bit of a game changer for them. So anyway, the thing to do now, I mean, it's very solidly constructed, very heavy. Frozen lately, I've become more and more of a Frozen fanboy. If you've been watching my reviews, and not they don't endorse me, don't pay me, none of that. The printer did come free for review, but I don't care. But the reason I've been becoming a Frozen fanboy lately is all their machines have been super solidly constructed and worked really, really well. I mean, for me, that Frozen Sonic Mini 8K is still, I now have 3 of them, and they are just pumping out gorgeous print after gorgeous print with the highest resolution possible. So Frozen has won me over with their last few products. And this one looks to keep the trend in terms of construction, quality. I mean, this just looks really good. It's really well thought out. So I can't wait to test it. I'm really excited to test this. And I have to figure out how to use the camera. I'm assuming it's not going to be that hard. And I guess I'll have it for the first time ever. I'll film a print going since I never wanted to bother with the stop motion stuff, but now the camera's inside the printer. No excuse not to try it, right? So anyway, let me go do the light source test and do some prints, and then I'll come back with my thoughts on this machine. Thanks. So I'm back after several days of testing, lots of prints, and for the people who don't like to hear me blab and say, do a quick review, 1 sentence review, the printer is awesome. I highly recommend it. Really, really good. Now let's dive into some things that we do need to talk about if you're sticking around to listen. 1, unfortunately, the camera, which I'm told works with an app on your phone, which is great, the app is still in the process of being developed, so I couldn't test the camera for you. So I'm personally sad about that. I can't imagine it's hard to get that working, so I have a feeling the camera's going to work fine. I can't imagine that's going to be a problem. Number 2, that touchscreen that I said looked bigger than my others, I checked. It is the biggest touchscreen I have on any printer I've ever had, and I'm going to show you a little video here. It's a color touchscreen. It's actually really nice. And for me, who has big fat fingers, this big screen, I've always been asking, you know, in every video where I have a larger print or even the smaller ones, so I wish the touchscreen was a little bigger. Okay, well, Frozen put the bigger touchscreen in, so that's good. Light source. So let's look at the light source test now. And as you're looking at it, I will say, unfortunately, I didn't realize, if you're looking closely, you'll see I used a bent piece of paper that was folded in a few places. So in some spots, and also it had a stain or 2 on it. So let me just tell you that the light source was perfect, absolutely perfect. Anything that looks in this video not perfect is a result of me using a piece of paper that had folds in it, and also, unfortunately, a couple of stains. I think actually somehow a little resin had gotten on that paper and cured while it was off to the side, and then I just used it again. So I apologize for that. Anyway, let's talk about the prints. So first I used the Dwarf Girl that I usually print. It was, well, this without the supports on it. And let's actually take a look at her, because she is my standard test on these printers. Look at the incredible detail. Now we're talking a 10-inch build plate, but because of this 8K screen, look at the resolution. I mean, it's almost approaching the Sonic Mini 8K, this thing. I mean, this is incredible. Look at the detail on it. Look at the eyelids, the eyes, the mouth. One of the hardest things to see clearly, you know, as resolution goes higher instead of lower, is the detail on the armband, which is really clear here. So this printed just perfectly. So what I did next was I printed out 4 of her. So I wanted to kind of spread out the plates. So I did 3 in the middle and 1 just kind of off on a corner. They all came out. I didn't even take them off the supports. They all came out absolutely fantastic. You can look at the picture there. Then I decided for fun to do a cleric and a rogue. I did trolls, the same troll. I just did them at 3 different sizes to see how the machine would handle small, medium, and big in terms of picking up detail and coming out. You could see everything just came out spectacular. I printed a piece of a house I'm working on. Well, this is obviously, I slapped a little bit of paint speed painting it because I am constructing an entire house, and I'm doing it in resin. So nice to have the 10-inch screen to do that. And what can I say? The printer, like I said, you're looking at the pictures of the prints and just incredible. It really, really, really did a good job. So unfortunately, the camera didn't, it's not functional yet. But aside from that, absolutely love the printer. It's every bit as good as I was expecting it to be. I've been such a big, Frozen fanboy since the Mini 4K, and then the Mini 8K knocked my socks off basically. And now this Mighty 8K is kind of doing it again. I mean, the prints are just phenomenal. The only bugaboo here, and the only thing I'm a little worried about on this one, Frozen's always had, I felt like for the same machine, a very, very good price. This one comes in, I'll flash the price here. I think it's $859 or $899. I'm not sure what it is right now, but I'm going to flash it. But either way, I think the Saturn II, which is also 8K and prints, it's a great machine. If you look at my review, I'll link it here. That's also a great machine. That one is, I believe, right now $250 less. It doesn't come with a camera, of course, or the bigger touchscreen. So I am a little worried for Frozen on the price here. But again, they do have the camera and they do have the bigger touchscreen. And if you're a Frozen loyalist, you can't go wrong buying this. If you're a fan of Frozen products, you will not be disappointed with this product. It is an excellent, excellent machine. So I think that's about it for the review. I noticed absolutely zero flex on the Z-arm, of course. Touchscreen was easy to use. And again, I like the fact that it's in color. Maybe that won't matter to some people, but I've been wanting a big color touchscreen, and now I have it. So I'm very happy. And the prints speak for themselves. That's really, for me, in the end, my reviews always boil down to what do I get out of the printer. And for a printer this size, to be able to handle, I just broke a piece off to look at, to be able to handle the kind of detail that it does. Again, I'll throw the pictures up here again as I'm blabbing. It really did an incredible job. I mean, I think, to me, once you're at this size, if we ever get to that 16K screen, I think I'll be done. I don't think the human eye will be able to pick up any more refinement than that. I mean, this is already pushing the boundaries. This resolution is just crazy good. So anyway, please please subscribe. Oh, and by the way, these tests were done with Frozen 8K resin, which I still, right now, is the best resin I've used. I've yet to test the Elegoo 8K resin, so I'm going to try to test that and get a review out of that. Get a review of that as well. But for now, the Frozen 8K resin is my highest detailed resin, I would say, on these 8K printers. So that's it. Again, please please subscribe. Please check out my other videos. If you want to sponsor more resin tests, more printer reviews, because not every company will send me printers to review because they're afraid that I'm going to tell the truth, I think, so they don't want to send them to me. So I use the Patreon money to buy things to test. So if you want to support, there's a link for that also. And again, check the link for Fiercepulse if you or anyone you know wears leggings for my wife's little mini endorsement. That's it, and happy 3D printing, everyone.